Yes, yes. Iceberg's the name.
I'm a HUSTLA hustler. I've been new vision since a youngster.
So what was it like growing up in your like your city and like your neighborhood as a kid?
I've always stayed in an imaginative state of mind.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I was able to get the toughness from being, by my grandmother's house. My mom, put me in a lot of extracurricular activities, dancing and stuff like that. So I was able to get that character and stuff going. It's a small town, how small towns do. Everybody know everybody. It's everything is usually one big family until it's not. And then, it's like that, very family oriented. I always had, my people around me. So, like, it's been cool, but I'm ready to go. Yeah.
I understand. New change of scenery.
Right.
Okay, so I know most singers, they start out in the church, singing in the church choir. I did as a kid, in the choir, singing lead, all of that, So you started out like singing in the choir, like in front of the church at like the age of 7. But by 3rd grade, you were writing, creating original songs. You know, what was that? Tell us a little bit about that.
That's the gift God gave me. That's how I look at it. He blessed me with the ability to write. I was 7 years old whenever I like you said, I was my auntie just taught me this song called "I'm Glad I Accepted Jesus" in my young age, and she had me sing that. I wasn't even in the choir stand. I was in front of the pews, and I don't remember being scared at all. I knew the words, so I wasn't gonna forget it. My foundation is definitely in the church, and that's where I learned my voice. I never had vocal, lessons or anything like that. I want to, because I just want to strengthen and get my craft all the way right. But that's where it started, and I mean, I have a lot of peace about where it's going now, because it started there, And I still lead praise and worship. When we get back in the church, I'm gonna be back leading praise and worship. So yeah.
So eventually, as you're growing up, you're getting older. Musically wise, like, eventually the studio became like your second home.
Yeah.
So in like 2007, you like created your first song called "Shawty." Could you tell us a little bit about that song?
Man, the way that came about, so I like to pull from like life experiences from my songs and just like little things happening. I like to bring that in to, what I do with the music. So my homegirl Hope, we was out somewhere. This is my first year in college. I was at LSU. And we out, we still young and we still, just doing whatever. And so a dude passed by and he was cute. And so in our little circle, my homegirl was like, "Ooh, shawty with your name." I was like, "Ooh, I like that." And then I was like, "Shawty, what your name is? You're looking kind of fly." So like that's how the song came about, just from her doing that. And I wrote a whole little song about my friends getting with your friends. None of that actually happened, but that's how I create like experiences. That's how it ended up happening. And so Shawty was my very first song that I did. I mean, I didn't really know much about the music. I just knew that I wanted to make it. And so that's what I did. And I wish I could find that song because it actually jammed. I don't know what that's right now because I didn't put it on any platforms or anything like that. But it jammed. I would send it to people and they'd be like, "Yeah, that's it. I wish I would have like knew what I was working with back then. I'd be a lot stronger right now. But everything happens in God's timing. So
yeah, definitely. So what would you say? Like, what was like being in the studio for the very, very first time? Like, were you nervous or you just like turn on the mic, let's do this?
I wouldn't say that per se. I was with people that I knew, so it wasn't bad, you know. It wasn't no issue. My homeboy who made the beat, he was there. It was just, the studio always give me a nice atmosphere, a homey atmosphere. It's fun, so for me to do it. I wasn't, I wasn't cocky on it, like, yeah, like, I wasn't living like that. It was just a fun atmosphere, and so, in that atmosphere came something great, and that's usually how it ended up being for me. So yeah, I wasn't nervous because I felt like this is what I was supposed to be doing, or like just creating was what I was supposed to be doing. So
right, that's dope. So eventually you went on to continue to create so many, amazing songs and whatnot. However, on the production side of things, it became a little bit of frustrating for you because nobody wants to sound the same. Nobody wants to sound like somebody else. Everybody wants to sound like me. I want to sound like me when I'm creating my music. So what was the most challenging part about, the production side of things and trying to sound like your authentic self outside of from what everybody else is doing?
it's like, well, first of all, I had a real problem with my own voice for a very long time. I didn't like how I sounded. I just, I felt like I wasn't good enough. Growing up in the church, you got people running with the roofs, just like crazy. And when you like, man, I wanna do that, and you could do it a little bit, but you can't do it on that level. Like, it make you shrink a little bit. And so I definitely, for a long time, just trying to find my own voice, and then it came to finding the music, and where I'm from and the music that I like, I wasn't getting it. Like, I would run across a producer every now and then that would have some, like, yeah, okay, I could write to this. But I read somewhere, or I was watching a video, to be a writer, you have to be able to write to anything. And so that's the approach that I took to the music. And then just me creating my own stuff, it was just certain sounds that I couldn't find. And so it was frustrating. I almost quit like a couple of times because I just couldn't find the sound that I wanted to put out, and I feel like I'm getting there, but I still haven't gotten it because it's just, I know it's a lot that I can do, but I haven't reached it at all yet. That's just how I feel. So, but I'm more confident in knowing that it's coming, because before I was like, when am I the sound? When love? Right. Because I'm getting aggravated. Look, I'm gonna just go get a career, go and do something. Because I was selling houses at one time. I was like, look, go get a career, because
this might not be it.
I was just like, but I kept coming back to it. Like, my heart just kept coming back to it. I can't see myself doing nothing else. Like, business wise, I could come up with stuff. I could sell some stuff now. But it's like, it has to be focused around music and creating some kind of way. Yeah.
Well, I know that, normally artists who come from out the South, or Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, etc., they're more on the hip hop side of things. You don't really have that many R&B singers who come from the South, because everybody wants to do the hip hop side. So why do you consider yourself to be that, wanting to be that go girl for R&B music?
Because I could write a love song, baby. I could write a love song. Okay? It's like, I've dreamed about it. Like, I done dreamed about writing music for like Marsha Ambrosia, and I even did a song for Fred Hammond in my dreams, and it was popping. Like, I wish I would have woke up and wrote it down. Like, my heart is no matter all of the stuff that I've been through, I've always been the one to still want to love, still, never be on like, I ain't fooling with that. I never was like that, no matter, and I done been through some stuff since young, because young, we want to be the boyfriend, girlfriend stuff, you giving your all, you know what I'm
Definitely, I know.
You all, and it's like, so my heart done been through a lot of stuff, but I always wanted to love 90s R&B. Oh my God, I'm stuck there. Like that music felt so good, and that's what I want to do. I want to. There's so much music out there, but like, what's really making people feel good right now? Hardly anything. And that's what I want to do. That's what I want people to come to me for. That's what I want people to be. You know, when they hear Shani Shanell, they know they go, "Ooh, this gonna bop. This gonna rise. This gonna feel good." So that's why I want that. And I know I can make hits for other artists. I know I can do it.
We'll be waiting on it. Trust me.
Yep.
I'll be waiting on it. I heard your project and I was like, oh girl, listen.
Thank you.
I'm in my feelings.
It definitely do that. Because I be in mine when I be writing them sometimes. It'd be crazy. Like, I could my feelings, writing a song, come out great. And then I could not even be dealing with the issue that I'm writing about. It's either a thought that came into my mind, or I know somebody that's dealing with it, or I done watched something on TV, and I'm like, and I create a song. God bless me with the ability to be able to do that. So, like, you know, I'm really thankful for that. Really.
So you would consider that more so like your creative writing process. So
yeah.
Okay.
Cool. I come in the studio. I had to put something in my house so that I could also get around music. And I would come in here and I just put on some beats and like just go crazy. Just sit down. Even if I'm writing 4 bars, I'm writing 4 bars, leave that right there, and then come back to that. I always have topics that I could come back to. That's part of my writing process too. I would love to get into more writing sessions with more, you know, other artists and stuff. But being here, I haven't really been able to do that like I want to yet. But it's coming. It's coming.
Like I said, we waiting on it. We're gonna manifest it.
Yes.
We're gonna manifest it.
Yes. I'm all about the positive speaking. I'm all about speaking life into everything.
Definitely.
That's what you gotta do. That's what you gotta do.
Definitely. So let's go back. So since we're stuck in the 90s, because I love 90s R&B, like
girl,
all the time, like love it, love it, love it. Who did you grow up listening to?
The Ericas, the Jill Scott, Jill Scott, Erica Badu, Lauryn Hill, Anita Baker, Whitney got a couple of bops that I like that other people probably, you know, wouldn't or hadn't listened to, because you know all of her songs, they're all of the mainstream ones is the ones that people gravitate to.
Yeah.
But, so I went in and I looked at some of her other stuff, and she got a couple other songs that I really like. That like it was like a calmer version of it that I really liked. Man. That's not the 90s, but Gladys Knight was, I like her too.